Very good afternoon to you, Peter, and good afternoon to our viewers once again. As you rightfully said, we're still coming to you live from the streets of Alexandra here in Johannesburg. It is business as usual. As you can see me, there's movement. Children had gone to school today. So in a short while, we'll give you the latest and the way forward in relation to the protests that we have seen here.
So that's SA Today coming to you from two locations today, Alexandra Township and here in the studios. And Palesa, as she says, will be taking us through quite a bit still. So we're starting to hear from the politicians throwing words to each other, against each other, about how the situation is being dealt with. Palesa?
Thank you so much once again, Peter. We've just come out of a media briefing organized by the councillors of this area, basically lashing at the Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba, who was on one of the community radio stations this morning, saying that, in fact, blaming the situation on the councillors, saying that they're just sitting and doing nothing about the services in this area. But to talk to us more about why the protest has been called off and the way forward, really, we understand there's a public meeting that's set to take place tomorrow. Let me speak to Bobby Solomons. Bobby Solomons is the spokesperson of the Alex Shutdown. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. Now, the situation was a little tense earlier today. There was still a protest in different areas. But when we got here a few hours ago, it looks like things have returned to normality.
Yes, definitely things have returned to normality. And the reason for that is that the shutdown was only planned for yesterday. So whatever incidences occurred today, those were just sporadic incidences of thuggery, people taking opportunity to cash in on, which is a serious concern for the residents of Alexandra.
So the shutdown was only planned for yesterday, as you say, but from what we understand, you as the leaders and the community members are not happy. MMC's son was sent to the area yesterday, but you chased him away saying that you want to speak to the mayor, you want to see Mayor Herman Mashaba himself. Talk to us about the way forward. What happens going forward? Okay,
look, the reason we wanted to see the mayor is that these issues have been going on for long. People have been reporting issues and the public officials are not responding. So we actually wanted him because he's basically the person in charge. So we are tired of talking to people who basically need to go and convey the information to him. We don't need that. We want him so that whenever decisions are taken, we know that they'll be taken seriously and change will happen.
So basically, you did not get what you want, and I would imagine that you're not satisfied. So what is the way forward?
Okay, in terms of the way forward, tomorrow we'll be having a public meeting at 10 a.m. All residents of Alex, basically who will be around the township at that time, are invited to come to the meeting. And in terms of tomorrow, everything is also back to normal. Children should go to school, people should go to work, and then there'll be no one should stop people from going to work or going to school. That is our position. And in terms of tomorrow's meeting, at 10 a.m., if the mayor wants to come and speak to us as the residents of Alex, he'll also attend that meeting.
All right. And there were also some concerning reports. People were fearing that we may see sporadic xenophobic attacks taking place in this area as there were threats doing the rounds. So do you know anything about those threats on foreign nationals as the organizers of the protest?
Look, initially when we organized the protest, we said that there won't be any xenophobia, there won't be Afrophobia. And according to my knowledge, nothing of that nature happened. And we still reiterate, this is not a xenophobia or an Afrophobia issue. This is an issue about service delivery, and that's all.
Now, you want the mayor to be part of the public meeting tomorrow. I've just seen a statement released by Mayor Herman Mashaba a short while ago, basically saying that the ANC administration should take responsibility and account for the situation in Alexandra, and basically challenging President Cyril Ramaphosa to come here with him so that he can address the residents, saying that the ANC administration had over 2 decades to turn around the lives of the people of Alexandra, and nothing has happened. So if the mayor is not here, if he's not willing to come address the community, what happens?
Look, in my view, that's a cop-out for him to say blaming the ANC, basically. Yes, I mean, when the DA came into power in 2016, they were saying that we should give them a chance to govern, to prove us wrong, that the ANC was corrupt and all those things, those allegations which were made against the ANC. So now we are saying that he is in power. Basically, the DA is in power now. They are responsible for governing. So they must govern. They mustn't come up with issues and coming up with historical issues of blaming previous administrations. Then maybe, if we are using that logic, then maybe we should also blame colonialism and apartheid for which happened for 340 odd years, to say that we cannot change things in just 25 years.
Right,
that's the logic we should use if he's blaming the ANC with this.
Right, Mr. Solomons, we'll leave it at that for now. Bobby Solomons is the spokesperson of the Alex Total Shutdown, telling us that the protest has officially been called off. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. there will be a public meeting, extending an invitation, of course, to the Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba, saying that if he wants to address the community members, he's more than welcome to attend tomorrow's meeting. As I said earlier on, that the mayor has also issued a statement saying that the ANC administration should take responsibility of the current situation here in Alexandra, and also challenging President Cyril Ramaphosa to come with him to this area and come account to the community of residents as to why service delivery has not been achieved. So as you can see right behind me here, of course, it's business as usual. There is a movement of cars, children were at school, businesses are open, as the organizer has said that everything has actually come to an end. So we've just been to a media briefing by the councillors, as I said earlier on, who are basically saying that the mayor must come and account, he should take responsibility, he shouldn't blame them. But part of what we've always wanted to look into is from the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs here in Gauteng, really to hear their side of the story. Why have houses not been built, and what happened most importantly to that Alexandra renewal project that was launched by the former President Thabo Mbeki back in 2001. And I know that my colleague Maha Ketla Motlabe has been on the story. You've been in this area before the situation got out of hand, and really talk to us about what the residents were saying, and you'll also bring in our guest from the COCTA department.
And of course, as you mentioned, Palis, we cannot talk about this particular protest without mentioning the Alex renewal protest, which we know is actually at the center of this particular protest that we saw continuing from yesterday until in the early hours of today. But of course, we know that it's a project that was established in 2001. It was former President Thabo Mbeki who rolled up his sleeves to particularly to basically plant a tree, and of course in the sense that they can establish this particular project rather, and we know that it's a project that cost about 1.3 billion, but we need to really know, and that's what basically the people of Alexandra are asking questions about, what happened to the Alex renewal project. But with me is Luzuko Pangoma. He's from the Human Settlements Department. He's going to take to us through that particular project. So thanks so much for talking to us. The question basically that's been actually doing the rounds is, what happened to the multi-million Alex renewal project?
Thank you very much. The Alexandra renewal project is part of the broader urban renewal project, and it faced some challenges, but it was recited back in 2016, and after it was recited, there were projects that included the Nobuhle Hostel, which is behind us, and the Butlabelo Fleet project, which is on the other side of Alex. And the two projects that started since the new inception of the renewal project have faced challenges which included vandalism and invasion. And on the side of the vandalism, the department has dealt with the matter. And in relation to the invasions, the department has obtained court orders to evict those people who have invaded those projects.
But we know that, we've been covering this story, and we had people saying that they were requested to move so that they can allow this particular project to take place. For example, the extensions of road as well as bridges around here in Alexandra. Some of them saying that we have papers, but we don't have houses. How did you help those people?
The department is currently doing two investigations. The first investigation is to investigate those allegations of people who have papers but do not have houses. There's also allegations of invasion, and of whereby the houses were invaded by foreign people. And the recent one that the department is investigating is whereby the citizens of Alex went on to evict people into those houses. So the department is working close to the police to verify if indeed the people that were evicted by the residents are the owners of the houses. But it must also make mention that when doing this investigation, it doesn't mean the department will then say who must live in the house after the house has been allocated. So if the house has been allocated to the correct person, but then the correct person chooses to have someone else living in the house, then the department will be able to say, yes, the house, someone else lives in it, but it was allocated to so-and-so, and so knows the person currently living in it. So we just want to caution the residents that just because the person living in the house doesn't own it, if they have a relationship with the owner who was legally and is a rightful beneficiary of that house, then that person must be allowed to stay. But those are the 3 investigations that are currently underway.
Thanks so much for your time. That was Luzuko Pangoma from the Human Settlement Department in Gauteng, of course, giving us some clarity in terms of that particular multi-million Alex renewal project. And we understand that, of course, investigations are still underway in terms of how that project was carried out. We know it was a presidential project meant to benefit the thousands of people that live in this area. And of course, as we mentioned, and my colleague Palisa has mentioned, the situation, of course, has returned to normal in the streets of Alex. Of course, we have seen school children, of course, roaming around the streets, coming from different schools back to their homes. Of course, we've also just heard from the councillors saying that they still need answers from Mayor Herman Mashaba. There shouldn't be any blame game in terms of pointing to the previous administration at the city of Johannesburg in terms of this particular service delivery issues that we see in Alex.
Yes, indeed, of course, Mahaketla, and will, of course, afford the Democratic Alliance an opportunity to respond to everything that we have heard here on the SABC News channel. But that's it from us, and we'll wait and see what comes out of that public meeting tomorrow morning at 10 here in Alexandra. But from me, Palesa Chibisen, Mahaketla Mutlabe, it's back to you, Peter Ndora in studio.